Hello and welcome to the extra Musikalischer online Salon to Ukraine. I'll just say some words in German and then I'll say some words in English and then I'll play Irrlicht. Ja, herzlich willkommen zur Sonderausgabe des Musikalischen Online-Salons aus Anlass des Kriegs in der Ukraine. Kein schöner Grund. Jetzt ist es heute genau 1 Monat her, dass Russland die Ukraine angegriffen hat. Natürlich kann man sich fragen, wieso habe ich Irrlicht die ganze Zeit lang nicht gespielt. Ist halt so passiert, aber jetzt ist wirklich die Zeit gekommen, dieses Stück der ukrainischen Komponistin Ludmila Yurina, von der ich mich sehr freue, dass sie da ist, zu spielen. Wie immer ist der Eintritt zum Musikalischen Online-Salon frei. Ich bitte aber darum, diesmal einen Eintritt zu zahlen in Form einer Spende an irgendeine Hilfsorganisation der eigenen Wahl. Ich werde selber auch was spenden, hatte ich ja schon geschrieben, um einfach die Wirkung dieses Online-Salons auch in der Ukraine ankommen zu lassen. Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Musikalischer Online Salon. It's 1 month now that Russia attacked Ukraine. Actually, I played Irrlicht 20 years ago and I could have played it before, but for some reasons I never did. But if there's any time to play it, then it's now. So I decided to make this extra salon. I'm very glad that Ludmila Yurina is here with us, that she could escape to safety. And although, like always, there's no entry fee for tonight, I beg you to make a donation to some institution that helps the Ukraine. There are a lot of different possibilities how you can help, and please just do it. Now, all this problem solved. I will change the tone to a better quality, which means that if you talk, you have an echo. So I will turn it back. I will make a recording of the piece, and the piece is about 6.5 minutes. So I have time enough to play it twice today, once in the beginning and then in the very end. Christiane, kannst du bitte dein Mikrofon ausmachen? Ich will jetzt gerade losspielen. Es ist super schön, dass du da bist. Aber wir haben ganz viel Störgeräusche von dir.
Also, was soll ich machen?
Mach dein Mikrofon aus, solange ich spiele.
Okay. Habe ich auch.
Kannst du in Zoom machen, unten links.
Links, warte mal.
Ja, jetzt ist es aus. Okay, so now I will really start.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Ludmila, it's up to you.
Yes, it's my time now. I really very glad to be here now. And first I would like to say thank you to for your invitation to take part in this Musikalischer Salon. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's wonderful because you are in Germany and I'm another part of our world. Probably you know that permanently I live in Kiev, but due of war, Russian aggression, I moved from Kiev and now I live in Salon. It's a wonderful place, wonderful city. I stay with my Stanford friends from Stanford University. Absolutely fantastic, but just I'm sad about the reason. Reason it's not very big joy for me, but anyway, our life goes on. And I would like to tell a couple of words about my activity, about my music. As you know, I'm a composer. I compose music pretty many years, and I write any kind of music: symphony music, chamber music, music for choir and symphony orchestra. I have cantata for choir and orchestra, music for any kind of combinations of chamber ensembles, for duo, for trio, electronic music. I also have a mono opera for soprano, piano, and electronic opera. Lady Lazarus on text of Sylvia Plath, great American poet. And my special love, it's writing, composing music, compose a piece for solo instruments. You know, it's very good practice for composers, because if you write music for solo instrument, you know this perfect abilities of this instrument. You know a lot of sound productions methods, extended techniques. And it's a reason why I decided to solo pieces for every instrument or symphony orchestra. Unfortunately, I did not write solo pieces for every instrument of orchestra, but in future, now in America, I will do it exactly, because I do of Russian aggression. I got a lot of propositions to write new pieces, new scores for and clarinetto, for ensembles, and even to play with violin concerts, because my first education, I'm pianist, and not only composer, I'm also a pianist. So now you know any kind of music, any kind of combinations of instruments, it's very close for me. I can write any music. For me, most important thing, it's a conception of a piece, it's idea of a piece. I use in my music any kind of composer's techniques. I can use antonome music, dodecaphony, melody, and especially it's for children music, you know, it's special kind of music. It must be very simple and with melody, because it's a special method for children understanding and perception. As far as piece which Matthias performed, yes, it's Irrlicht. As I told you, for me, the most important thing, it's understand or to catch a very special idea of my future work, my future score. And by the way, this piece was written in Germany, in Künstlerhof Scheyern.
Ah.
So, yes.
So that's why the title is German too.
Yes, exactly. And it was my imagination and feeling in a huge building in Cheyenne. It was two stairs for me alone, you know, and I had a feeling that everywhere I see tiny, small fires, roaming fires, and in German it's Irrlicht. So yeah, it's an imagination, it's conception of this piece. So it's a reason why I use in this piece in Irrlicht a lot of trills and a lot of flageolet, a lot of extended technique of playing on violoncello, to play on the bridge, to knock with the bow. So it's just for good realization of this image, roaming fire everywhere. But for me also very important, not just to realize my emotions and imaginations. For me also very important to strictly organize, so-called a building structure of my music. For instance, I have a piece ritornelli for piano, solo piano, by the way, also for solo. From a first look, it seems it's very simple music. It's kind of improvisation with a lot of ritenuto, ritardando, with pedale, but it's very strict organization on this piece. It's based on one seria, dodecaphony seria, very strict seria, and some Krebsgang inversion and Krebsgang inversions, and plus a lot of permutations. So it's just an example of organization of music material of just my solo pieces. And there is the same situation as far as my another scores. It's not improvisation. There is a strict structure and organization of music language and music material for me. It's very briefly, if you interested with my music and my activity, you can find out a lot of information about me on my site Yurina.gg, and also on my page on Facebook. So we had a bit of time, and I just can briefly to explain my intentions, my love and music, what I can do, what I will do in future. So I will invite you on my site and on my pages. So you are welcome. And now I will give a music words to Matthias again. So
well,
please,
and to the others that are here with us.
Pardon me?
And to the others. I mean, I already talked. Lisa or Christiane.
Yes.
kann auch
You
übersetzen,
can
ne? So.
ask me and Matthias about any questions. Lisa and Christina, don't be hesitate to ask.
Also leider kann ich nicht so gut Englisch, dass ich nur ein Drittel verstehe. Tut mir leid.
Matthias can translate.
Ich kann übersetzen, also wenn du irgendwas fragen willst, frag einfach und wenn sie es schon gesagt hat, dann hat sie es schon gesagt, dann sagt sie es auch nochmal.
Okay. Erstmal wollte ich wissen, wo sie jetzt gerade ist.
Sie ist jetzt gerade in Palo Alto in Kalifornien.
Also okay.
Yes,
Also
I'm in America now. I'm not in Europe.
Sie hat eine Woche in Kiew im Bunker zugebracht, dann konnte sie irgendwie nach Lviv fliehen, dann von dort nach Warschau und von dort ist sie dann zu Freunden nach Palo Alto.
Okay. Und sie lebt eigentlich, also grundsätzlich lebt sie in Kiew.
Sie lebt in Kiew, ja.
Okay. Gut. Und wie habt ihr euch kennengelernt?
Vor 20 Jahren habe ich in Odessa gespielt. Und Ludmila hat unser Klaviertrio dahin eingeladen oder hat die Verbindung hergestellt, das weiß ich nicht mehr. You understand a bit German, Ludmila?
Yes, I do, yes.
Okay. Ja, und das war, ich meine, vor 20 Jahren fand man, das ist normal, dass man nach Odessa fährt. Also es war schon eine abenteuerliche Reise, aber grundsätzlich ist es normal, man fährt nach Odessa und da gibt es ein Festival für neue Musik und da spielt man. Und das alles findet ja jetzt nicht mehr statt, aber so haben wir uns kennengelernt und jetzt dachte ich eben, also ziemlich direkt vor einem Monat dachte ich muss jetzt ukrainische Musik spielen und das ist das einzige Stück, was ich da habe zurzeit an ukrainischen und ich werde es auch übermorgen in einem Konzert spielen. Und dann, zum Glück, ist es mir gelungen, Ludmilas E-Mail-Adresse aufzutreiben über Umwege. Und so konnten wir jetzt noch diesen Salon machen.
Okay, und die Stück ist schon so alt?
Das Stück ist von 2002. The piece you composed it in 2002, Irrlicht, didn't you? Ludmila?
Pardon me?
The piece is from 2002.
Yes.
Ja.
Also zu Beginn eurer Freundschaft sozusagen.
Genau, also ich habe nicht die Uraufführung gespielt, aber es war gerade ganz frisch.
Ja, okay, gut.
Und erstaunlicherweise, sie hat es in Schreian geschrieben.
In Wendland.
Christiane is living in the Wendland.
Ja.
So compared to you and me and Lisa, she's close to Schreian, where
Oh, great.
when you wrote this piece.
We'll try to Schreian. And I see a very special background, like in Schreian with blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, it's not typical house of this area.
I was in Schreian with my daughter.
Ja?
Yes, with my baby. She was just 5 years old and she attended a kindergarten in Wustrop.
Verstehe.
Ja.
Ja, aber da habt ihr euch gar nicht kennengelernt, oder?
Nee, da haben wir uns nicht kennengelernt. Wir haben uns kennengelernt dann in Odessa.
Also, okay.
Und es war auch den entscheidenden Kontakt zu Ludmila hatte unser Pianist. Stefan Eder, that was your main contact. And he also came later to Ukraine and made this tour with a and how did you meet? Did you meet via Schreian, Stefan and you?
You know, at first, Andreas Lorenz invited me to Dresdner Tage für zeitgenössische Musik.
Yeah.
Yes. So I met Stefan here in Dresden.
Okay.
Yes, Andreas introduced me and Stefan. Yes, and step by step, we started to contact, to collaborate, and Stefan attended Kiev with concerts and in Odessa. And step by step, we started to do something together.
Ah. Ja, und das ist von eurem Trio der Pianist?
Das ist der Trionist, der Pianist von dem alten Trio.
Von dem alten Trio.
Von
Okay.
dem alten Trio.
Ja. Ich glaube, ich habe ihn auch noch kennengelernt, ne? Vielleicht vor
Ihn hast du kennengelernt.
vor 7 Jahren oder vielleicht auch 5 Jahren, bevor ihr das neue Trio jetzt habt, ne?
Ja, das sind 4 Jahre jetzt. Genau.
Also okay, 4 Jahre.
Nee, aber er hat auch in...
Matthias, I remember the name of old Stefan's trio, Elole trio.
Elole Trio, yes.
Ja.
That was the trio, but now, I mean, we played together for 17 years, and then after this long period, we had gone in different directions. So Uta Maria and I are still playing together. What we have a new pianist now.
Ja, und du bist jetzt, Ludmila, du bist jetzt in Amerika praktisch und hast aber da Freunde und Familie, oder wie sieht es aus jetzt für diese Zeit?
I decided to move from Kiev because it was impossible to live here, because till now Kiev bombed, and I spent 1 week, eine Woche, in the shelter, and I even slept on the chairs during the missile attacks with ballistic rockets on Kiev. It was very difficult, really, and psychological. It's impossible to live in these conditions, not only not to write music, just to live, not to sleep, to eat, to do any. So in one moment I realized I need to move out from Kiev, because our situation will be worse and worse. Yes, and then I moved to Lviv. Then I moved to Warsaw, to Poland, and I started my flights from Warsaw, from both to San Francisco to America, when I got invitations, not only one invitation, some invitation from my friends here in Palo Alto. They are Stanforders from Stanford University. So it's a reason why I'm here. They're very kind to me, really.
Yes.
Thank the Lord. I have a daughter, but she's pretty big. She's a big lady, big girl. She's 27, and more than 2 months she lives in Sri Lanka.
Oh,
in was nochmal?
In Sri Lanka.
Wo ist sie?
In Sri Lanka.
Ach, in Sri Lanka. Oh.
Nearby India.
Ja. Ach so, und da lebt sie richtig? Oder ist sie jetzt...
So she's living there, or she's just there now? Your daughter?
She lives in Sri Lanka 2 months.
Okay.
Because she's graphic designer. And she works with computers. It doesn't matter where does she lives, or in Ukraine, or in Sri Lanka, or in Germany. It doesn't matter.
Ja.
Modern times.
Aber kannst du jetzt, wo du bist, würdest du da auch weiter komponieren können, oder ist das jetzt erstmal zu dir selbst kommen und
Sure, I will continue to compose here. It's my profession. It's my character. I cannot live without composition. So I just need some days to have a rest, to adapt to normal life. Because till now I sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, I cannot sleep, in a panic, and I still listen these sirens, Kiev sirens, our alarm sirens. It's terrible, absolutely. And I need more time for to be in normal condition, in good condition. 1 week it's not enough, maybe more time, but I'm sure I will be okay, sure, because I have music, I have composition, I have very good friends. They help me and try to provide me with any things, any. Absolutely, I am very thankful to my friends here. The Americans, and they are very kind, very good people.
Also was ich jetzt noch nicht ganz verstanden habe von deinen Tätigkeiten, also deinen eigentlichen, also Komponieren natürlich als Musikerin und so, aber deine anderen Tätigkeiten, ich habe irgendwie was bekommen, das mit Kindern zu arbeiten, also in Kiew.
Sie hat auch verschiedene Kompositionen für Kinder gemacht.
Ah, verstehe.
Speziell, wo sie gesagt hat, da ist es dann wichtig, dass Melodie eine große Rolle spielt.
Ja.
Was jetzt zum Beispiel in Irrlicht ja nicht so
nein.
so entscheidend ist. What you say, coming back a bit to Irrlicht, what you say it's a typical piece for you, Ludmila?
Yes, I understand. I just think, my typical piece, maybe it's music for symphony orchestra. It's Crystal and Pangea. It's me in composition. You can find it on SoundCloud. It's orchestral music, and it's also Drift. You can find also on SoundCloud this track. Pangea, Crystal, and Drift.
Yeah.
And by the way, my mono opera Lady Lazarus, but I didn't upload it in internet because of some moments with my research. But maybe I will send you a part of this mono opera. You will listen
do so.
And I will show it, because there is very good research with light, with the smoke on the stage, with some actress. It looks very beautiful, really.
Yeah. So, to be typical, you need the bigger apparatus, an orchestra, singers, stage, or...
I don't depend from orchestra or from any combinations of instruments. For me, most important thing is idea. It's a conception of the music. If I get to very interesting idea for music, I cannot. I don't think, it will be just for orchestra or it will be just for electronic music. I just try to feel the character of this idea. I try to move. I try to follow to this conception.
Yeah.
I try to follow. I try to understand what is this? What the Hippocrates? What is this? For me, it's most important. Idea of the music. Idea of my future score. Or it can be electronic music. Or I can realize it with electronic sounds, or for solo instrument, just for solo instrument. So it depends just from conception of the music.
Yeah, as I said in my preview video, in German the word Irrlicht and then Irren has this at least two different meanings. The one is I might be wrong, ich kann mich geirrt haben. The other one is ich verirre mich, I'm misled. So there is a light and I think it's leading to a house, so I'm going there. That's verirren in German. Or I think it's like this, but it's the other way around. So I have been wrong. Ich habe mich geirrt. And for me, I thought during working this piece now that this seemed to be the idea behind the piece, to create this vagueness that you never know, is it real or is it, and also in form. You have been talking about structure, but for me, there are a lot of things where I think, this is similar to what I've heard before, but not the same. So I'm not sure, am I right or am I wrong?
You know, you are right, because you are a musician and you feel my music. This is a reason why you perform it.
Yeah.
If no, in this case, it will be impossible. Am I right?
You're right.
Matthias,
but-
I'm sorry. I see Lisa Hirsch in chat.
Yeah. She can't talk because of her sleeping child, her sleeping son.
I see.
But we can answer. She can listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be great if you answered.
Mm-hmm.
Just for everyone who can't read the chat, I'll read it. Lisa wrote, I'm curious to know what kind of musical ideas or qualities usually trigger you to research further.
Yes, it's
Quite a question.
a very interesting question. It's a very good question. Maybe strong human feelings and emotions at first, and maybe some physical conditions, for instance, and the third, philosophical part. For instance, I have a piece Rannan for string instrument. To remember maybe Olaf Katzer with Dresdner Symphony at a performance sometimes in Dresden. But
I remember they did, but I didn't listen to it, unfortunately.
Rannan, it means inner light. It comes from Tibetan philosophy, from the Book of Dead.
Yeah.
Probably you know. So it's philosophical part of my activity. Then yes, and by the way, a fourth point of ideas or qualities in my activity, this theatrical part. For instance, for example, I have a piece for oboe solo as soon as possible. So it's kind of instrumental theater for one person, and also piece for trombone solo, Opera Dirk. It's for piece for Dirk am Rhein. He's a very good trombonist from West Germany, and this is also instrumental theater with the text of Cummings. And in this both piece, for oboe as soon as possible, and this piece for trombone solo, they are not only as instrumentalists, and they are placed also as artists, actors, because they can sing and to knock with their foot and to dance a little bit and to scream and to whisper into their embouchure. So any kind of movement. So then another one, my piece, my score Crystal, it's kind of imagination of huge crystal which It's in space with a lot of fires. You know, it's crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal with a special kind of flying in this space. So if you listen this music, you will understand me, because I cannot explain it. I'm sorry. It's very special. Then Pangea, also my score for big symphony orchestra. The conception is probably, you know, this ancient, it's not Earth, it's a continent, Pangea. Yes.
Yeah.
Which was breaked a lot of hundred or millions years ago. So I try to explain in musical language in my scores, and also if you listen it on SoundCloud or on YouTube, you can hear the process of breaking of a huge material. So any ideas, any qualities, I just must be interested in this idea. It's a reason why I take our different idea or conceptions.
Again, coming back to Irrlicht, you use a lot of possibilities of the cello, and as I also said in my preview video, what I like is that you always use them very natural. It's not like, oh, this is, look what I'm doing here. It's so very special to use the cello like that, but it's just like I play. It's easier to show that than to explain it. Like I play this, I can play this or this. It's not like 2 salons ago when I played Karl-Heinz Dietrich. He always, when he uses a special technique, it's always a special moment. And in this piece, it's not a special moment for a special technique. It's just another way of playing cello. What would be interesting for me, how much of these techniques did you know before you composed the piece? And how much did it influence the piece to know what's possible on the cello?
I would like to ask you, can you explain these special moments of Paul-Heinz Dietrich?
Okay, for instance, with Paul-Heinz Dietrich, there's some part. It's also called Sarabande. It's very traditional. And then we, I can't play it by heart now. When we end here, for quite a time, I played this low C with a tapping. And then something else is coming. I mean, that's also because of the structure of his pieces, that he does one thing, then another thing, and then another thing. But it's not, this tapping obviously is not integrated into the piece. It's not something like where I play and then I tap and then I play ordinary, but it's a special place. You understand what I mean with the difference?
Yes, sure.
And in your piece, it's, I mean, maybe you could say that's a bit a special place, but still it doesn't feel like, oh, look, here's something very special. It's just like I play a very high tone.
Any kind of sound production method, contemporary. But you know, for me, it's kind of instrumental theater of these different methods.
Yeah.
Good result for ear. it's not special kind of dramaturgy of these combinations. No, absolutely. But if you will not think about and compare with Paul Heinz Dietrich or with a piece of Mauricio Kagel, by the way,
Yeah.
my music has in this case in your piece another one bass, because it connect with air perception. Air perception, it's a game with overtunes, with quarter tones.
Yeah.
This is sound dramaturgy on very high levels. It's a reason why I use it in this way.
Okay.
If you will look on my score, you will look at very strictly.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's 20 years ago. Do you remember that there was a situation where I thought, oh, you can do this on the cellos. I absolutely want to integrate it in my piece. So I have to change the structure to be able to use it.
Sorry, I don't remember.
It's 20 years ago.
Yes, it was 20 years
ago. Of course.
I'm sorry. But
okay.
You know, it's very interesting how different cellist performs this piece in absolutely in different way. I have performance in Odessa. Zoltan Almashi played this piece. Probably you know him. It's our composer and cellist. He plays very romantically this music. It was very calm. It was very interesting dramaturgy, like drama performance. Yes.
Yeah.
More slowly. Then I had a performance in New York twice. Two different cellists, and they performed very not romantically, but maybe more formalistically.
Yeah.
So in this case, it sounds as very complicated etude, and I didn't like it, because I write music not only as technical exercises for brain and for fingers.
Yeah.
There is another one, a bass, more philosophical bass. Even it's Irrlicht, even it's ritornelli for piano, even it's sound illusion. You play it with a Lolly trio. There is something more than just score. There is another one, second level of understanding and feeling of every my score.
Yeah.
It's typically for every my music, absolutely. So, and I prefer if or my friends or my students listen my music not only once, maybe twice, maybe a third time, or maybe even fourth time. It's for good understanding and feeling of my music.
Yeah.
It's my desire. Yeah.
Now, when you describe the way the other ones played, I mean, I'm not interested in good or bad, but how would you describe how I played the piece? I mean, it was not romantic.
You know, I liked your performance because you was very emotional in the first part of Irrlicht, very emotional, and there was a lot of different dynamics. Yes, and my plan in structure of this piece is, yes, first part it's very emotional, very fast, and then middle part of this piece very calm. It's kind of interludium before first and last part of this piece. So
Yes.
it's total calm, very simple for ears playing, and then it's Übergang to last part of this piece, again very emotional, and then desolation in last bars of this piece.
Yeah.
And you built it absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
You
But
feel
that was not what I was aiming at with my question. I like to hear that you enjoyed how I performed, of course.
yeah, sure.
I'm flattered for that. Thank you. But you said, oh, they played it so romantic, they played it so what? So I thought you could tell me what kind of performance mine was. But
in
of
your
course, it's hard to tell.
It's very good, a very happy combination of both performances, and romantic in the middle part, and not formalistic, but with a strong dramaturgy in the first and last parts of this piece.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Okay.
It's very good balance between all parts of the piece.
Well, thank you. Thank you. No, you see, I'm really enjoying in this middle part when there's one tone sounding like that, then another tone much higher or much lower, sounding completely different. I really love playing things like that.
Oh.
And not just playing different things at different places, but trying to connect them.
Yeah.
That's
yes, great. It's great. Good for you.
Okay, so Lisa asked in her first entry in the chat if my performance had been distorted when you heard it. Christiane, war das übersteuert, als ich gespielt habe, eben das ganze Stück?
Nee, eigentlich bei mir kam das gut an, eigentlich. Also du meinst jetzt rein akustisch?
Rein akustisch.
Nee, das kam super an. Ich fand nicht, dass es übersteuert war.
Ludmila, was it distorted at you?
From beginning it was a little bit, but then it was good.
Okay.
Allerdings muss ich sagen, dass ich ja da beinahe so ein bisschen reingestolpert bin in das Ganze. Ne? Und dadurch, also wirst du es nochmal spielen?
Ich spiele es jetzt nochmal.
Ja, okay, dann kann ich nämlich doch ein bisschen besser. Es war für mich sehr überraschend, dass ich plötzlich da so drin war.
Ja, du kamst genau in dem Moment, als ich losspielen wollte.
Ja, genau. Aber okay, ist ja super. Aber jetzt, wenn du es jetzt nochmal spielst, könnte ich jetzt noch ganz anders.
Yeah. Okay, so I turned down the mic a little bit, so hopefully we don't have any distortions. I make a recording of this. It didn't work with the first performance, but I make a recording of the second performance anyway. So we will have it in good quality. And I mean, I'm glad you said that your students usually listen to your pieces several times.
Yes.
And I'm glad that tonight we have the possibility, because 2 days ago that piece was 17 minutes long. You can't play it twice in 1 hour. It's just too long for that. But with your piece, it's possible. So if there are no more questions, I'd say I'd make the second performance now.
Yeah, sure.
Lisa, last chance to write something. Ah, there's the stump. Okay, so I'll change the sound quality. Now this again is Irrlicht by Ludmila Yurina.
Bravo. Bravo. Great. Really great.
Thank you.
Matthias.
I'm glad I recorded this one and the mistake happened with the other one. That was the better performance, I think.
Yes, it's much better. It's absolutely fantastic. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great.
Okay, so I just say some closing words and then we can stay and talk. Is there anything, Lisa or Christiane? Gibt es noch irgendwas zu sagen?
Also jetzt im Moment nicht. Wenn sie jetzt hier wäre, würde man natürlich in der nächsten halben Stunde noch alles Mögliche.
Wonderful piece and performance. Thank you, Lisa. Das war der spezielle Salon. Es gibt noch einen musikalischen Online-Salon dieses Jahr am 3. Mai mit der Uraufführung des neuen Stückes von Lisa Hirsch. Was sicher musikalisch großartig wird und aber technisch auch eine Herausforderung. Wir haben gestern schon darüber gechattet, wie es werden wird. Das ist am 3. Mai um 19:30 Uhr wie immer. Schönen Dank für heute, schönen Dank an Ludmila Yurina, dass sie da war und wir sehen uns dann hoffentlich am 3. Mai wieder.
Also ja, vielen Dank, dass sie jetzt dabei sein konnte und
Ja.
Alles Gute für dich, Ludmila. Ne?
Thank you very much.
Komm gut für die nächsten Tage, Wochen, was auch immer. Und ja, natürlich wie wir alle, wir wünschen eine Rückkehr natürlich.
Thank you very much. I hope one day I will come to Germany.
Ja,
I would like to go again to Germany. I have a lot of friends here, and I'm really miss for my friends.
Okay.
well, you have this invitation to come to the Wendland in June.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we
I
can
would
pay a
like to
flight
come
from the
on.
States to Germany. But
Kommt sie dann?
wherever you are in Europe, I'm sure we can pay your travel expenses to come to the Wendland.
Dann meinst du, dass sie jetzt dieses Jahr
Ja, ich habe das Stück da in das Programm auch aufgenommen.
ins Pfingstfestival?
Pfingstfestival in Bühlis.
Achso,
Ja.
oh, gut.
Ja.
Ja, toll.
Ich dachte, es muss einfach gespielt werden.
Ja, ja.
Okay, just my English closing words.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who was here in that special Musikalischer Online Salon. The next one and the last of this year's season will be on May 3rd with a premiere of a piece by Lisa Hirsch, who never showed her face tonight, but she was there and couldn't talk but could write. I'm very curious already about that piece. We talked a lot about it, and it will be very exciting. And yeah, so I hope we meet again on May 3rd.